Good morning.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to all of you. Welcome to Washington Gun Law AM. It is a little after 6:30 in the morning out here in Seattle. It is piss and rain again. We'll have more flooding. Those of you know about Washington Gun Law's central Washington location, there's not a whole lot of it left anymore. So anyways, it is orders list day, guys, and we got a lot of big cases to go over. I've already had a chance to go through the orders list that came out right at 6:30. We got some big issues, magazine bans on the calendar today. We have Duncan v. Bonta. We have Gators Customs Guns versus State of Washington. I checked the orders list. Neither of those cases are even listed at all on that list, which means that they are getting kicked down the road again. This will be the third conference for both of those cases. So we do not have a thumbs up. We do not have a thumbs down on either of our two magazine ban cases that were on for conference last Friday. Orders list today. We had our first assault weapon ban case come on for conference on Friday. That's the matter of Viramontes v. Cook County out of the Circuit there in Illinois. Have checked that list as well. There is no mention of Viramontes anywhere on the list, which means Viramontes will now be kicked over. I'm guessing that Viramontes is going to get set with both the Grant and the I didn't remember the other case. It's Grant v. Ravella and Lamont case. NAGRV Lamont. Those are both Connecticut assault weapon bans, actually cases that were consolidated, now separated for appeal. So I think you'll probably see all three of them drop onto the same calendar. Now, there were some other cases that we have talked about on the channel in a little bit, but we didn't really think that these cases were going to go very far. But I do want to let you know about some of these cases because there has been some denials. By the way, there's only one case accepted today for review. It was not a Second Amendment case, so we got no Second Amendment cases whatsoever on going back on the docket for argument. Okay, there was a case of Gustafson versus Springfield Incorporated. It's a really terrible set of facts. Involves a young child getting accidentally shot by a child who was playing around with an unattended firearm. Terrible case. Had a lot to do with the application of the PLCAA as it relates to state claims under state law, trying to whittle away at that Smith & Wesson v. Mexico ruling from the Supreme Court. That petition for certiorari has been denied. There was another case out there, Robinson versus the United States. We were kind of carefully tracking this one. Had done one video about it. Didn't do a lot of videos on it because I didn't think it was going to get far. It turned out I was right. This is whether or not the NFA exceeds Congress's taxing power. It was an argument that was filed long before the big, beautiful bill. So very creative argument, not creative enough for the Supreme Court to take interest in it. So that one is history. The lower court's ruling on that case will stand. There is the case of Rush versus the United States, which deals with the constitutionality of the NFA's regulation of SBRs. That too was denied review today. We have the case of Meyer versus the United States. Pretty interesting case that talks about, is the right to purchase a firearm actually a fundamental constitutional right? Supreme Court doesn't want to answer that. That petition has been denied. So all of those cases there, all of them are officially done. Now, as many of you know, there was, in every conference, it's like this. There is a gajillion challenges to 18 United States Code Section 922 G1. That's the prohibition of those who've been convicted of felonies for possessing a firearm. To give you an idea, this is not all of the cases. This is the last the named petitioner in all of the cases. There was actually, let me take a look at my notes here. I think there were 71 of these things. 72. There were 72 922 G1 cases on for conference last Friday. You can see that we have Duarte highlighted. That's the one we've keeping our eye on. That's a very, very interesting question coming out of the Ninth Circuit, is whether or not as applied challenges are even legally permissible on 922G1 challenges. It's a pretty interesting issue, one that the court probably needs to resolve. Now, I haven't had a chance to do word search on all 72 of these cases because I wanted to do this relatively short order after the orders list is out. I had not found a single case of the 15 to 20 or so that I'd kind of done some quick word search on the orders list. I did not see a single one of those listed, which means that they are all getting kicked down the road. In addition, there's probably, I'm not joking here, there's over 100 of these cases kicking around on the Supreme Court docket just this year alone, all challenges to 922G1. And what we're going to end up having sometime in the spring is the greatest GVR avalanche in the history of the United States Supreme Court, because I honestly believe that they're just going to stack all of these 922G1 cases up. They're not going to accept review on any of them. They're not going to deny review on any of them. Then let us remember that we're going to have oral arguments on Hamani. Then Hamani is going to issue a ruling that will have some bearing on who can or cannot be disarmed and for what reasons and for how long and all of that stuff. And the Supreme Court's going to GVR every one of those cases. And so if you're working down in one of the Court of Appeals, buckle up, because you're going to get a bunch of cases coming down. Fourth Circuit and Fifth Circuit in particular have a ton of these cases. The Fifth Circuit in particular has a lot of them, because I think a lot of challengers figured, hey, Fifth Circuit's pro-Second Amendment. They're going to be pretty good on this issue. They have proven not to be good on this issue. So that's where we are today on the Monday morning, December 15th. We have, of the big cases that we are tracking, our magazine bans and our assault weapon ban cases, we have no word on it. I'm not totally shocked for those of you who went on this journey with us last year on the Snope v. Brown and the Ocean State Tactical case. We did this way too many times, but hey, it did get me up early, get my days going on it, so I appreciate that. I believe there is one more conference scheduled for this Friday. I'm not certain. I should have probably looked that up. But we do go into the holiday season, so any of these cases likely that are going to get relisted are probably going to be relisted sometime after the first of the year. So that is your update today from WGL AM. It is December 15th. This is the last day for voting for the Gundies. So if you guys all want to go to thegundys.com/vote and vote for Washington Gun Law for top 2A voice, we would forever be grateful. We would really appreciate that. Listen, in the meantime, I want all of you guys to have a really good week. This was a rough weekend, a bunch of terrible news. I don't want to get into any of that, but as we move into the Christmas season, the holiday season, my advice for everyone is let's focus on what we have in common rather than what makes us different. Let's make sure that we give. Let's be kind to others. Let's look out for the kids. Let's take care of each other. And all of you, in the meantime, I want you all to stay safe. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all of you. We will see what stacks up on the next conference. If there's a bunch of cool stuff on that conference, we might do another WGL AM. Let us know what you think of this. Probably don't have a lot of viewers on the West Coast, because I would hope you have something better to be doing at 6:30 in the morning than listening to us. For my good friends out there in the central part of the country, out there on the East Coast, where it's a little bit more reasonable time, thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all your support of Washington Gun Law. So all of you have a fantastic work week. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and you all stay safe.